So recently I've been quite disappointed to see that few people out in their vans have been broken into. So I thought I'd take the opportunity today to share some of the ideas that we use to make ourselves safer when we're out there. Thankfully we've never had a problem, touch wood, while we've been out and about. But I like to think that we take whatever precautions we can to minimise that. So by sharing some of these, I'm sure most people do a lot of these things, but hopefully it will give you some ideas of things you can do to avoid being a victim of crime. Keep up to date by hitting the subscribe button, and you can visit us at ExploreVan.uk, where you can read more about us, our vans and our trips. So first of all, I'd like to talk about awareness and prevention. So whenever we're out and about, and if we're in the wilds, we're also always really careful about where we park. If we're in a city, we always try to make sure it's an area that's busy, there's a lot of people around, there might be CCTV on the buildings around us, and just get that feeling as to whether it's right or not. If there's broken glass on the ground or anything like that, then it's an area that we'd avoid. Wherever we park, we also always make sure that there's no valuables on view whatsoever in the van, so everything's packed away. You don't want to give anyone a guarantee that there is something in there, so just make sure everything's away, make sure nothing can be seen through the windows, don't give anybody any reason to break into your van. When we're away from the city and in the wilds and camping away from other people, there might not be any other vans around, we always make sure that it's going to be really easy to jump into the driver's seat and drive away if there's any trouble. So we won't put up the external windscreen covers, we'll just have the internal curtains shut, we'll make sure that the driver's seat's free, make sure that we can get to the keys easily and be able to drive away from the parking spot quite easily. Again, never had any problems, but just something that for peace of mind we like to have so that we can get away if we needed to. Just in case anybody did get into the van, we always have good hiding places for any valuable items. With these, they're not necessarily secure, but they're hidden away where if I make it harder for people to find, they're not in an obvious locker where all the camera equipment's kept or things like that. Keeping your spare keys, obviously keeping a spare ignition key inside the van is always a risky thing to do. Make sure that's well hidden away or ideally locked away, so that someone can't just break in, find the spare key and drive your whole van away. We use an alpha dot system to mark a lot of our property to make it so that if anyone did steal it, it'd be really hard to shift on. So it uses microdots to identify it, and we have stickers on the van to show that things that are inside are microdotted. So it makes thieves think twice about taking anything because they might not be able to shift it or may get caught because of shifting it on. And that brings on to another thing around prevention. Make sure that if you've got an alarm, if you've got a tracker, you've got deterrent stickers up telling people of these, because it's not really a deterrent if they don't know that they're there. If we're out in the wilds or somewhere in a little bit of a dark area, we have these motion activated solar powered lights, so we've fitted neodymium magnets on the back so that these can be put up on the outside of the van so that if anyone does come past, the lights come on. It's a good way to make people think twice if they're looking around a van, that they'll be easily spotted and won't even try then to necessarily get in. Now moving on to physical security for the van itself. So the normal locks in a van are pretty rubbish and pretty easy to get into. So we replaced all our locks and added extra deadlocks. So the advantage of a deadlock on the van is that even if someone breaks into a window, they can't just reach in and unlock the doors. They're actually deadlocked physically for the inside and you need a key to unlock them. A simple way to physically deadlock your front doors in a van is to put a strap between the two doors and secure that tightly, so even if the locks are forced, they can't open the front doors. Now that doesn't help you with your habitation door, your side doors, but you can also add extra physical locks to those to deadlock those. So it's a nice, simple, easy way to secure your front doors. So kind of as a bridge between the physical security and the electronic security, so we've got a sensor on our back doors so that if anyone tries to force those or we mistakenly forget to lock them and someone tries to open them while we're inside the van, we have a chime that goes off inside the van so that no one can get anything out of the garage area of the van. And then moving on to the electronic stuff, there are loads of aftermarket alarms out there aimed at caravans, motorhomes, campervans. Really recommend getting one. It's great peace of mind. It has added benefits, like it turns on our outside light when you turn it on and off to make it so it's more light outside, so you can find keyholes and things like that and just feel a bit more secure when you're coming back to a dark van. Ours has internal sensing, door sensing and tilt sensing, so if anyone tries to lift the van, then it will go off then as well. Our alarm is also linked to our tracking system, which is GPS and GSM linked, so that if the alarm goes off, it sends a text message and calls our mobile phone. So if we're away from the van, we'll get a notification if the alarm goes off. So that lets us either go back and look in on the van, or we can use our CCTV system, as long as we're connected to cellular or Wi-Fi, to look at the van through the cameras, just to check everything's all right. The tracking system also, if the van does get stolen, then obviously we can track the location of the van and see where it's gone. It's isolated with the batteries, it's self-powered, it's a tiny unit, and it'd take a long time for somebody to find it. I mentioned our CCTV system, so we do have that. We have a few cameras in the van. Some of them are overt and some of them are hidden, but it's continuously recording and also continuously feeding to the cloud when it's connected on Wi-Fi. So even if someone came and stole a camera outside or stole the system or stole the whole van, some of that information could still be recorded on the cloud for us to pick up later. And we can also view the CCTV on the Android tab here. So if we're inside the van somewhere that we're not quite comfortable with, we can still check what's going on outside the van without actually opening the windows or the doors to have a look. So we'd like to think all the added protection that we've done to the van will make any potential thieves think twice about breaking in. We've made it as clear as possible that it's going to be difficult to get in, that if they do get in, there's nothing easily on show that they're going to steal, and if they do steal anything, they're at risk of being caught either through the CCTV system or through the marked property when they try to move it on. So hopefully they will think twice about breaking in. You can never protect yourself fully, so always important to have good insurance and everything for if the worst does happen. Remember that things can be replaced, your memories can't, so try your best to enjoy getting out there in your van, not worry too much about security, but be safe while you're out there. Keep up to date by hitting the subscribe button, and you can visit us at ExploreVan.uk, where you can read more about us, our vans and our trips.